What is needed for behavior to change? I'm a firm believer in personal agency and helping people help themselves. And in that spirit, today I want to talk about what making behavioral changes can involve from a bigger picture perspective. I say bigger picture because if you've been following me, you've probably noticed I've given a lot of attention to the neuroscience of habits recently, because making changes at some level always involves habit change, be it letting go of unwanted habits or establishing new ones. So naturally, the more you understand about the nitty-gritty of how our brains create habits, the better. But there are many other aspects to consider for change to happen. So today I'm going to highlight those aspects because I think it will give you an overview's perspective, a sort of framework that can then make it easier to make real and lasting changes. So one simple framework we can use to think about making changes for ourselves is to look at it from the very practical level to the more psychological levels. What do I mean by these levels? Well, let's say you have a daily habit. It could be something you're glad about, like making your bed, or one you don't like smoking. Behind these habits, these observable behaviors, there are thought patterns, of course. Those thought patterns can be attitudes or a mindset, like the bed maker can have the attitude, let me start the day off right. The smoker can have the mindset, I give myself what I please, or I'll stop when I'm ready. This is the thought level behind the behavior. And there could be other very different thoughts. I'm just giving some possible examples. Behind that thought level, there is often a belief. For example, for the smoker, a belief that it's relaxing to smoke, or it's cool to smoke, or there may also be the belief it's hard to stop smoking. For the bed maker, the belief might be tidy bedroom, feels good for mental order, or it makes me a good partner or parent. And here we can see already that very closely related to belief level is the level of feeling, as in it feels hard to stop smoking, or it feels good to see you're on top of taking care of your home. Maybe you'd feel bad about yourself if you're not on top of it all. Which brings us to the underlying level of experience, as in behind the feelings are experiences. Experiences, whether we recall them or not, may have led to the feelings and shaped the beliefs. And it's worth mentioning that we don't live in a vacuum, so our experiences, feelings, and beliefs are also influenced by social or environmental factors like family or cultural norms, peer pressure, and also biological factors play their part, for example, neurodivergencies or chemical imbalances. So I think you can already see that whether you're trying to break a bad habit or create a new healthier one, it's worth considering it on a number of these levels to see how to get the smoothest ride to change. Now, as a solution-focused hypnotherapist, I help people look for solutions, and we may look at a number of these levels to see what's best and where things are stuck. Let's take a possible example of how this might play out. Let's say you want to become more confident. Well, on the behavioral level, you could come up with a small, specific habit change. So one person might decide, instead of looking down as I go past my colleague's desk, I'm going to make a point to walk by them with a more open posture every day and maybe even greet people as I pass. If they can really do this daily and with some experience start to feel at ease with it, then fantastic. That will influence their thoughts and have some impact on how they feel about themselves and eventually even their beliefs. But if this person finds that small, specific, practical change, which they chose for themselves, difficult to implement despite making genuine regular efforts, then it's worth looking behind it a bit. Are there some attitudes or mindsets that are getting in the way? Like, I don't want to bother people. We could then ask, is this actually a helpful thought in the person's life right now? And we might discover, though not helpful now, they were helpful at some point in their lives. Maybe this one person's unpleasant experiences led to developing a belief that staying out of people's sight is a good course of action. Maybe another person with a similar I don't want to bother people attitude had another set of experiences which led to their belief My thoughts aren't that original, so keeping them to myself saves me embarrassment. Yet another person with this "I don't want to bother people" attitude may have had an altogether different experience, which led to the belief it's futile to try to get my voice heard. Very different experiences leading to different beliefs, giving rise to the attitude "I don't want to bother people." That leads ultimately to the inability to act with confidence. And regardless of whether we can know the experience or not, the attention to and the insight at different levels will help each individual come up with ideas and solutions for themselves, which are very uniquely specific to what they need to put things right for themselves. By using this simple framework of the levels, not only can you bring more insight and awareness to what's going on, but you can also come up with more useful ideas of what small things on which levels will reduce the interferences to the behavioral change you're looking for. And there are many different types of therapy. You may have heard of CBT, psychoanalysis, Gestalt. Some focus more on a specific problem, others more on analyzing how things came to be, to try and untie the knots. And there are more holistic ones that focus in the present moment. People have their preferences, and some approaches work better for some things than others. What I really like about solution-focused hypnotherapy is that it's both very practical and at the same time holistic. It's very client-focused, which means it's empowering for the person. And what's more, things can be worked on both the behavioral level and on the level that we're less aware of, the subconscious beliefs, thanks to the hypnosis, which makes changes easier than just rational planning and willpower alone. With clarity about what you want for yourself, a bit of persistence and a well-rounded approach and some support, it is very possible to make all sorts of positive changes in life. So that's all for today. Remember, always share if you like what you hear. You never know who you might be helping out. And as usual, if you'd like some support with the added benefit of hypnosis to ease your process, be it for big or small changes, you can easily book yourself in for a video consultation, which right at this moment is actually free. Of course, there'll be more thoughts and tips soon. Until then, take good care of yourself.